What if I told you that reality only renders when you're looking at it? That's not a movie plot. That's an actual, documented behaviour of quantum particles. Today we're breaking down the simulation hypothesis, the theory that our entire universe might be running on someone else's computer. In 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom laid out a trilemma. He argued one of these three things has to be true. Civilizations always go extinct before they can build reality-simulating computers. Or, advanced civilizations exist but choose never to run these simulations. Or, third option, we are almost certainly living inside one right now. Bostrom's math is simple. If even one civilization runs simulations, simulated minds outnumber real ones by billions to one. So, statistically, you're far more likely to be one of the simulated billions than the one biological original. Here's why physicists actually take this seriously. In video games, graphics only render when a player looks at them. It saves processing power. In quantum mechanics, particles exist as probability waves until they're observed, and only then do they collapse into something real. That's the double slit experiment, and it's been tested since the 1920s. Then there's the speed of light, a hard universal speed limit that looks a lot like a maximum processing throughput. And space and time themselves aren't smooth. They break down into discrete units, the Planck length and Planck time. Pixels and frame rate for the universe. Physicist Silas Bean pointed to something even stranger. The GZK cutoff, a hard ceiling on the energy of cosmic rays, mirrors exactly what you'd expect if space were built on an underlying grid, like a lattice simulation of nuclear forces. But here's the problem. Simulating even a few hundred electrons in full quantum detail would take more computing power than there are atoms in the observable universe. And if we are in a simulation, who's simulating the simulators? You just push the question back one level, forever. This is where it gets interesting. We're not just theorizing about simulations anymore. We're building them. AI world models like Sora don't render every atom in a room. They only calculate what's needed for the next frame, the same lazy loading quantum particles seem to do. Reinforcement learning agents live entirely inside a bounded input, a camera feed, a set of sensors, with zero awareness of the server room around them. Sound familiar? Our sensors might just be our input tensor. So what happens if we ever proved this? Physics stops being fundamental truth and starts being software constraints, meaning glitches become exploitable and faster than light travel becomes a bug to find, not a law to break. Philosophers warn about something darker too. Proving the simulation might trigger a reset if we're existing inside someone else's experiment. And on a human level, if souls are just data, does that cheapen everything we do? Or does it finally explain what happens after we die? Here's the part most people miss. Simulation theory doesn't have to replace God. It might explain him. Picture God not as a rule breaker, but as the being who wrote the rules, the supreme architect operating outside our rendered spacetime entirely. Omniscience becomes root access to every state variable. Miracles become authorized patches. Prayer becomes input and output, a signal sent up and sometimes answered. And the who simulated the simulator problem finally has an answer. It terminates at an uncaused, uncreated base reality. God. Whether you land on physics, faith, or somewhere in between, the line between the two keeps getting blurrier. If this made you think, subscribe, because we're going deeper into this next time.